You already know it's your boy. It's the man, the myth. All legend, baby. Grandmaster Caz. And I need y'all to tune into the latest episode of the Cazual Talk Podcast featuring the Henny Boys with a live studio audience. All right? Check out the Bigger Picture Network on YouTube and watch the Cazual Talk Podcast with me and the Henny Boys. All right? I need you to like and subscribe. We going in. You heard? Peace. All right. Clap it up. We back. Cazual Talk, baby. Henny Boys, we in here. Salute the Big Tone. Salute the Dame. They'll be back next week. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we want to open up the forum to some questions from our audience. Anything about anything we talked about tonight or anything else that has to do with hip-hop. You know what I mean? The floor is open. All right?
So I was
hold on, we got a mic for you.
Coming to you. Oh, yeah. Mic coming to you.
So, with all of the great things that we're doing right now in hip-hop, right? And I just want to know, what exactly do you think needs to be done to keep the younger generation with understanding the culture of hip-hop so it can keep going and it doesn't stop with us?
Good question.
I mean, that's a good question, and it's something that every generation is going to face. How do we keep the past or the current generation involved culturally and teach them about what happened before them? It's a dilemma because the further away, the generations get from the original, school of hip-hop, the further away they're going to get from the consciousness of it. You know what I mean? With so many other things coming into play, it's harder to keep them engaged. But forums like this, radio stations like LL Station, which is classic hip hop, where there's examples that you can go to, that we can direct them to, that shows them what happened before them without dictating to them. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's hard to get somebody new to accept something old. It seems irrelevant. It's in the past. That happened then. That was, you know what I mean? You have to make the correlation between why that is relevant to what you like right now. And I think that's how we can keep them engaged and keep the culture moving forward and make people want to look back and make the connection between what happened before them and what they like now.
Right.
Do you think the answer is sort of maybe more getting at some of the younger MCs? Right, because I don't know that sometimes that a older MC can sort of talk to the younger people, because in the younger people might feel like, you old ass nigga, you don't really know what you're talking about. Whereas if it is their young MC who say, yo, these things I sort of got from, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Kane and a lot of them were a lot more like that as far as giving homage to the pioneers. And some of these, some of these new MCs, they not really on that time. You know what I'm saying? So I think that might be a way to get a young person to be like, yo, word, yo, nah, respect them old school brothers. You know what I'm saying? Niggas put it in.
Yeah, well, when things happen like what happened just recently with, with the Max B and the Kane thing, it brings light too. Okay, well, who's this guy that he's saying that is irrelevant? Somebody was dumb enough to say that his comments made Kane relevant. That was some stupid shit, because Kane has always been relevant. But there is a point that people who ain't checking for Kane, okay, is just investigating the statement and what happened, then they're gonna go and see what's up. They're gonna find him wrong, okay, but they're gonna learn something, So in a way, it kind of it added to the point that we're trying to make right here. How you make the correlation between, what happened before and make young kids digest it without, like, oh, this old nigga don't know what he talking about type shit. And Mike, you an old nigga who usually don't know what he talking about, so I know you know.
What's your old man? Are you up? Are you up?
Mike's like, I'ma get it.
Collard greens make my feet stink.
Next question.
Next question. Don't everybody answer once. Hap, I know you got a question.
I live the question.
I live the question.
Let me ask you guys, do you think that the New York Knicks winning
is going to contribute to better New York hip hop?
Good question. I think maybe for a minute. I think it, you know, yeah, the New York Knicks winning the chip is gonna, of course, it's gonna bring out new songs, new anthems. Older artists are gonna chime in, you know what I mean, and make, you know, songs. But I don't think it's gonna last. I don't think it's gonna up the quality of MCing in hip hop because the Knicks won. But I think we're gonna come out with some pretty good, you know, anthems or Knicks songs out of it, and maybe get some classic artists to you know, to join in. I'm gonna do a fucking Knicks anthem joint.
All right.
Yeah, fuck that, man. This ain't never happened. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I think it'll, with me, you know, added to the fray, that probably will up the, you know what I mean? But no, I don't think as a whole it'll up the, you know, the quality of rap in hip hop. I wish there was one thing that could happen that would do that, but there's too many bum ass MCs out here.
And in general, how do y'all feel about hip hop in New York right now?
Hip hop in New York?
Currently, like the current state of hip hop in New York.
For me, I think we're having a so-called resurgence or somewhat. I think hip hop is coming home a little bit, you know what I mean? But I don't think it's because of the music. I just think because a lot of New York artists have platforms now. So it's bringing notoriety to the artists and the fact that they're hip hop artists, but not exercising hip hop art. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Do you think that hip hop will ever sort of segue? Because I guess sort of there's a sentiment that hip hop has sort of segued from the kind of lyricism, moving off the beaten path, right? Like I'm not gonna say the same thing you said, or you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not gonna rhyme like you. You know. Whereas you can hear these songs now, and they could all sound like sort of repetitively the same song. Do you think that it's ever gonna go back to kind of, this is my style, and I want people to be able to judge my style against your style?
Wow, Mike.
Nah, hey, I ain't even hear half that shit. Say that. Say no. The last part I really got to, where you said this is my style against your style.
Yeah, well, do you think everybody didn't sound the same?
Right.
Some people rhymed about this.
But now today, most people sound the same.
There's a uniform that you wear.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it's ever going to go the other way into a space of the uniqueness,
lyricism,
of
individuality, and that kind of thing?
When you look at it, you think about it, everything is kind of original in its own way. Like if you look at trap music today, right? I can't get into trap music, but my kids can get into trap music, right? They have different styles of every type of rap now. Every type of rap. They got country rap, right? They got gay rap now. They got every type of rap, for real.
Whoa.
Hey, they got what's the dude's name? What's his name?
No, they have gay rappers, but they don't have gay rap.
Did you see his? Time out. Did you see his video? Did you see his video? That means they got gay rap. You seen the
went
video?
too far now, Mike. You went too far. I can't get with you on this one, Mike.
Hey, Cat, did you see the video? This guy got naked firemen coming down, all types of crazy shit. So that shit is gay. They have that. But what I'm saying is, they got all of that crazy shit. So you pick what you like and you keep it moving. That's the way I look at it. You know, that's the way I see
well,
it.
to answer the question,
Because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't appreciate it. I hope, because I always say that hip hop is like a roller coaster. You know what I mean? It goes up and down and this, but it always winds up right back here, and then has to start all over again. And I think when it stops right here, that's when the originality is going to come back, the lyricism, the need for those things are going to come back, or the desire for those things are going to come back. People are going to want to be original at some point. Somebody's going to spark ignite the flame that makes that the next trend, to be original, to not sound like everything else that's on there, to not sound like the last record that came out. Okay, and that's when it'll happen. And I think hip hop is going to go on long enough for it to come full circle. So yeah, I think it'll happen.
Nah.
Oh man, we just need some niggas to drop some real bars out here and make statements. You know what I mean? Make it a staple, like make it happen. Now that's what it is. Now you can do some cornball shit if you want, but it's gonna be categorized as that.
That's
okay,
what we
that's
got.
cool. That's that cornball shit. Put it over here. All right, here go the real shit right here. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of shit is cornball shit.
Yeah, but it's subjective. Like
Right.
you said, there's so many
different
kinds
types of shit.
out here. And one person's bullshit is the next person's
Love of shit. Like, oh, I love that shit. You love what? I love it. You heard what he said.
exactly. And you can't tell that person nothing because it's subjective. It's what somebody likes. Any other questions?
Yeah, I just want to say something. Can you guys hear me? All right. I want to say peace to the brothers, Mike, Caz, what have you. I go back in hip hop forever, but I was thinking to myself, and I've thought about this a lot of times, because the same question, like, what's going on with the younger generation compared to the older generation, what have you. I mean, if you think back to when hip hop started, just a record like the message of freedom, back in the days, the whole house, the whole family was listening to that. Grandma, grandpa, that was in the house. Okay, until the hardcore came. Boy, what you listening to that stuff for in my house? You feel me? It changed. It went in another direction. It took a lot away from hip hop, even monies. But on average, like I said, and I keep telling myself, as far as like Caz, Mike, brothers, Coke Rock, brothers that been there for a minute, Curtis Blow, whoever. I really think, truthfully, that we need a coalition, a serious coalition, 2015, OGs, original pioneers, to sit down at the table. So when somebody make that record, we're gonna listen to it before it come out. It's not the government's problem. This is our problem. We brought this culture here. You feel me? But it seemed like everybody else is trying to take control of this culture.
Yo.
I'm just making a point.
No, you definitely making a point.
You understand? It should go through here first, and then say, let's get it over there. Let's let the people hear it or what have you. Because guess what? If I don't want it in my household, why would I bring it out?
I just want to ask you a question to that. So to that. No, keep the mic. So my question to you to that would be this: Do you think, by and large, how old would you be?
Excuse
you
me?
You don't have to give your exact age.
He's like
but
my age.
roundabout.
Like my age.
67.
Like his
okay,
age.
in the 60s.
Like his age.
Do you think that by and large a 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kid is going to respect what it is that you want to hear?
They will have to, because we're controlling the situation.
But then would the movement die?
Excuse me?
Would the movement die? Isn't aren't all movements generated?
I understand
by
your point
young?
of view, but what I'm saying is, if we are controlling the situation,
Mhm.
okay, just like you watch television, you watch the Knicks.
Yes, sir.
When that commercial come on, you're like, oh my God. Well, I couldn't see
I got
that
it.
jump
I got
shot.
it.
I couldn't understand me. They control that narrative.
They do.
When we control our narrative of hip hop and say this is what we want done
Then
when
you
it's
just
time
gotta
to do
go
it,
with what it is.
they got to go with what it is.
Now, I
That would
wholeheartedly agree with
slow things down to a certain degree.
that. But guess what? It's way too late for that shit.
Yeah, right.
I would say
We've tried at different junctures. We've come together. I've been to every gathering of
Right.
pioneers
Right.
and every get together where we tried to create a coalition or some kind of thing. I still got the banners in my fucking house.
Right.
There's documentaries of us sitting around round tables. I
Right.
mean, DJ Hollywood, me, Curtis Blow, this one, that
Right.
one, this one. We've all tried to do it. but at some point it could never come to any kind of fruition. You know what I mean? This is something like you said. We should have done this shit in the beginning, but none of us knew that it was going to be here the next fucking year or the next month, for that matter. We were living day to day. We didn't know if this thing was going to turn into something or nothing. We knew that this was the thing of the day. This is what the fuck we do, and this is what we about. Had we known, that's why when people ask me, yo, did you ever think that hip hop would grow to the? I would be a dickhead if I sat here and said, yeah, I know it would grow to this big, and I don't own a record company, a distribution company, a fucking video company. I don't own nothing as far as hip hop but me and what the fuck I do and what I did.
Exactly.
Okay? And none of us do. Had we banded together in the beginning, before the outside forces came in and said, yo, we want to make a movie about this. Yo, we want to put this on the radio. Yo, we want to put this, we want to do an article about it. Before all that shit.
You want to monetize it.
If we would have had a coalition together, and then when they approached us as a whole.
Right.
Okay, and said, yo, we want to do this. You go, okay, if you do this, you got to do it like this.
Right.
Okay? But that was never established. That was never established. And then the industry took over.
That's
and
right.
then, and not as a whole, but individually. They picked us off individually. Hey, give them a deal. Hey, sign them dudes. Put them up. You know what I mean? And now the race is on.
Yeah.
Now it ain't, it's out of our hands.
Right.
Okay, we can be independent if we want, but look what we up against. A multi-billion-dollar fucking machine now.
Yeah.
So that idea, and Curtis Blow is trying to do it now. To this day. It's called the Hip Hop Alliance.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's trying to gather together the foundation of hip hop for the betterment of not only the foundation, but for hip hop in itself. To know more about the business of hip hop, to know more about health and insurance and all these kind of things that they don't teach us, that the record companies don't teach us. Okay, so initiatives like that are underway, but as far as us taking control,
Of the
that's
situation.
done. That's done. The control is already taken.
Well, love is love. It's just like I said. It's not even an idea, like you said, brother. It happened.
It's a
We
concept,
tried to do it. See, everybody.
and it
don't
would have
have-
worked if we
Right.
would have did it in the
He
beginning.
said, and I didn't even know that. You know, I've been in hip hop all my life, but I'm just saying, everybody have their own way of thinking. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't sit down at the round table and talk about it, you'll never know what another man is thinking.
Right, facts.
You understand what I'm saying? But love is love. It's just positive, and God bless for inviting me down. Hopefully, we'll have you.
No
And
doubt.
Have a nice night.
All right, thank you, Hap. Any other questions?
Right? That's
You was
what I
out here
Come on,
riding,
Neil.
dog. You was out here
Now
riding.
the camera's on.
Oh, B, what's up,
Right.
Hold on. We got somebody with a question.
I think what's the beauty of hip hop is what I keep hearing people say. It's like everyone have their own opinion. Everybody have their own freedom of speech. So what hip hop did grow to is to something to that gives everyone now an opportunity to have a freedom of speech. Now, whether you have bars or not, whether you able to know how to put those words together, that could be judged by, people like Caz, you know what I'm saying, that been there, that originally formed that. But it opened up the door for everyone to, get their freedom of speech. I think that's amazing because everyone around the world is able to do it now. I don't think we want to block it. Let the trolls and let the negative and let the people that are against positivity expose themselves. We need to see exactly where you are at. And that's what people don't realize happens across this microphone. Whatever you let out on this microphone and you letting out to the world. You can't erase that. So just imagine some of these cats that done wrote down some of this crap, like I'm gonna start going on and showing the people what I was raised up against, the bars that I was programmed in my mind. The bars, everyone sitting here, the 90s bars was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Satan worship and everything that was programmed, how do we not look up now in 2026 and don't understand what happened? But what needs to happen now is that everyone needs to keep rapping. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that are no longer rapping. What are you waiting for? What are you holding back for? Are you holding back for a paycheck? Then that's something, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then you got to think hip-hop wasn't started about that. Let's go back and just put the music out.
I mean, culturally, yes, of course. And anybody who ever did this or did it just for the love of it still does it. You know what I mean? And just because you don't see them do it, that don't mean they're not doing it or are still invested into the culture. Some of the, like I don't DJ every day. I don't DJ in a club or nothing like that, but if you come in my house, yo, you'll swear you in a fucking DJ house. You understand what I'm saying? Because I live what I do. I didn't just do it at one time and that was it. We all live this shit. And we all got receipts, you know what I mean, of what we are. It shows. If you don't got nothing to show for this, and I mean, you know what I mean, then I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. And the fact, I mean, you said that people have to keep MCing, people have to keep rapping, and the fact that more people doing it is a good thing. There's no fucking quality control, first of all, in rap music, in hip-hop, in the first fucking place, okay? What other entity that you know that anybody can come and do it? What do you know? What business, what corporation, what anything that's worth anything that anybody can go and copy it and do it? I'll wait. If you, there's a certain level of you know what I mean? There's a certain motherfucking level of excellence, okay, that you're supposed to have at something that's supposed to be real, okay? And if hip hop was real, then it's supposed to maintain a level of fucking excellence, okay? Is that gonna exclude people? You motherfucking right, because everybody ain't excellent, okay? So then you put another tier underneath that. Okay, second tier, maybe not as excellent, but this and this and that, such and such and such. And then do you know what it is? You know why it's there. Okay, you got some people that just, hey, you know what? What the fuck? I'm going to try to do that. Put them in their own motherfucking category, okay? But everything's been mixed. And it's like, you know, when it comes to our culture, oh yeah, let everybody in. Be inclusive. Let everybody that came and fucked our shit up. If it was some quality control, you would only hear good music. You would only hear quality shit. You would only, you know what I mean, see quality performances and quality shows. Okay? But guess what? That's going to limit the amount of people you get to see. That's going to limit the amount of people that you get to eat or get to eat off of. Nah, you gotta let so-and-so do something because we, you know, this and that. Because there's an audience for that too. And there's an audience for this. And there's people out there that like that too. Understood. Give each one of them their set of what they like. But don't mix it in with this. Because then you're going to dissolute everything up here. You understand what I'm saying? There should be a dividing line or some kind of fucking division between what's what.
Right.
I think my only pushback is this. I think that by and large, if you are talking about underground mainstream hip hop, you're talking about underline, then I think that's a different thing. Most of the time, what it is that people want to hear is what the people want to hear.
Absolutely.
Right?
What they're playing.
It's about what the people want to hear. So now, even when that's sort of my point with the brother with the question, when the question was like, yo, yo, let's make it a situation where we had this coalition, and then you got to go through the coalition to get your shit out. What happens if the coalition say it ain't good? Right? Like how many A&Rs?
Then it don't go out.
Oh, listen though.
It don't go out.
Right,
How
now,
many? That's
hold
quality
on.
control.
Hold on.
It's quality
Hold
control.
on.
We are the experts, and we say that shit ain't good enough.
hold on,
Now, of
hold
course,
on.
there'll be somebody. Well, I like it. Well, fuck you.
You're gonna get a handful of people.
All right,
If it
so
ain't
hold
good,
on.
it
We're
ain't
not
good.
going to
Argumentatively, fellas, hold on. Right? Let's think about how many A&Rs who were the people that you're talking about. Think about how many of those people said, no, I don't think this motherfucker is dope. And then that motherfucker became Jay-Z, was denied.
Yes.
He was denied, dog. And then he went on to become what the fuck he's out here doing.
All right, but you're going
So there's no
Yeah,
hold
but
on,
who
hold on.
said
going
he
into
wasn't
who's
dope?
controlling
Whoever it
Who
was, whoever
said
it
he
was,
wasn't dope?
Whoever it was.
Because
whoever
if
it
you
was.
had the right people there, they would have knew, and he was dope, and he would have been in.
I
He would have
only-
been in.
I only disagree to this the point. You never know. You never know a person is going to have that's going to connect to the masses. You can't always know it because it's not always metaphors and similes. It's not always that. Right? Sometimes it's a different thing.
You know
that
what it
connects
is?
people to be like,
You
yo,
know what it is?
nigga
It's
do?
whatever they put out there.
Right.
It's whatever they put out there. So if you're in the music business, right? Okay, and you put out music, it's whatever the fuck you put out. Leo Cohen said, listen, I could take your grandmother right now and put her in the studio and get a multi-platinum album right now. It ain't about you.
Right.
It's about what we can do and make happen.
That's right.
Okay, so the shit is dictated to us already.
Right.
We not consuming what we like. We consuming what the fuck they give
What
us.
they give us.
Okay, and so you judging the level of what they give us.
Critical thinks?
Huh?
There's no critical thinkers about
All the only critical thinking you have is what you critically think about what the fuck they giving you. Okay, if that's all you have to think about,
Hold on
that's
for a
the
second,
end of
hold
your
on.
critical thinking.
Just let me say some point.
Whatever comes outside that box.
Just grab the
If
mic,
you're looking
grab the mic.
outside the box, you look in that box, you get what you get, and then you judge it by that.
Okay, just a real quick point. Before hip hop got put on record, okay, we had a Coke Rock. Understand me? We had a Melly Mel, Caz, whatever. And guess what? We were making tapes. We were on tapes, and people were buying those tapes and taking them to the house. It wasn't controlled. It wasn't a controlled situation. Okay? And this is where the tapes come from and so forth. Okay? It wasn't a society. It wasn't, big business. This is something that we ate off of. And everything was moving smoothly. Because we didn't you understand? We didn't throw marbles under each other's feet. Because we know what we had to do to survive. You understand?
Our shit was more based on whether you was good or not, if people
Right.
liked you or not.
People.
All right, there was a standard.
People.
There was a standard.
That's what I wanted to
We
get
had
back
tapes,
to.
they had tapes. Our
Yeah.
tapes was dope, their tapes was whack. As simple as that. You know what I mean? They were, and it wasn't even one whack or dope. It was like, we like this. We like this. That's all right, but we like this. Okay? But it wasn't, nobody told us what to like.
Right.
Nobody marketed to us to say like this.
Right.
Nobody put a video behind it and put naked bitches in it and say, look at this. This is what's
Naked?
dope. I mean, nobody created charts. Nobody created stuff and put on charts and put us on charts and put out awards and gave people awards to make you think. All your shit is programmed towards that.
On tapes.
Okay? Before that, it was just what you like. What you listen here. You take a tape. Tell me if you like it. I didn't sell you no story. I didn't say, yo, this tape come from some so-and-so who got a big car. And so I didn't say none of that. Just here, listen to the music. Or just come to the show. Come to the show. See what you like. Simple as that. But now so many variables on top of it, which guide what you like. Outside of just you playing liking something. You're programmed. Okay? And that's just the game. And that was introduced by the record business. Like Hap said, before that, you go, you see some, that shit was dope. Or That shit was whack. Yeah. And it was as simple as that. Okay, no outside influences telling you, yeah, you know, but it is dope though. You know why? Because such and such and such, and this and that, and then you start dressing shit up, and that's why I made rhymes about people, thinking that they dope because they all dressed up and fly. Mm-hmm. It ain't about that. It ain't about that. That your fucking jacket ain't gonna rhyme. Your chain ain't gonna dance. I mean, none of that shit matters at the end of the day when you're talking about what matters. When you take the emphasis off of what matters, all the clouds and smoke, you know what I mean? That's what sells records mostly nowadays. Talk to us, bro.
The reason why you have such a well soliloquy on it, the advantage of being from the conception and watching it transform. The word that we're missing to answer to you, and I'm going to be descriptive, not long-winded. People mistake it because I'm speaking in context, but this context is important. I'll show you the cross-reference. The word is called colonialism. China just banned OnlyFans. They banned it. And the reason why they banned it, right, because they did what you did. Colonialism. Hip-hop, right? By its significant context. Yes, there's many cultural contributions, but by a significant context in the terms of culture, because culture is language, it's a black culture. Foundation Black Americans, all of that's the subjective in that, but the geographical reality, it's under a European concept, so it's able to be colonized. I'm gonna give you something. If you listen to bachata, salsa, merengue, right now, you hear the same connotation that it was in its conception. Why? Because Europeans don't speak Spanish, so they couldn't colonize the culture. Because colonialism worked. There's a book called Behold the White Pale Horse, and it says in a certain chapter, this new black culture, they were talking about hip-hop, it is too sophisticated. We need to make it dumbed down. This is why what he said is so important. We need to make it dumbed down and give access to the non-intellectual. We'll go back to what he's saying. This is why it's important. Fight the Power was 3 times platinum, right? Fight the Power was 3 times platinum. And then they took certain gangster records and they put it in the word is called syndication. What is syndication? There's $250,000 worth of syndication, $750,000, $1.5 million. It is when a record company takes a certain amount of finances. You can't pay for radio spins, but you purchase radio ads. Those radio ads dictate how many spins. You could pay for 200 spins a day, 300, and now you could do this in syndication. So what happens in syndication, the word syndication, sonic. Syndication is sonic manipulation. So now, that's why his soliloquy is so accurate. He watched it. He birthed it. He watched it. You can literally control what people listen to. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. Now you're dealing with black culture. Our psychological spectrum to post-traumatic stress syndrome is the highest because we're the only experience where our identity is colonialized. So now we are more subjugated to brands. There's a doctrine called How to Sell to the Negro. Dr. Boyce Watkins talks about it. He just broke it down. Your chain and watch can't do that. Most of us believe that indirectly because we live vicariously through brand because our identity, we're dealing with colorism, we're dealing with all of these things that attack identity. This is on purpose. So we're the only culture where it's colonized in that capacity. So what you're talking about is smart, but why he asked that question is the executive path to that. Like he answered it, it's too late. China was in certain position that they stopped it now. Why? Because their culture was never colonized. So the thing about respectfully, I like that because that's a passion. What he was talking about though, like we broke down racism. To be racist, you have to be in position. To colonize, you have to be in position. There is no executive position. Right, there was an attempt with Dame Dash, Master P, Suge Knight to own black distribution, but they stopped that. Why? There was an attempt to do that because that's part of the reason what happened with Cosby. This is a fact. He was, I think it was 93.2% of the syndication value. So what he did was, for every one negative image we're gonna put out, and Viacom was like, what? No, this is so. It goes back into that. It wasn't just one it wasn't just one what's the neighborhood, Black Wall Street. It was 271 Black Wall Streets. We had banks. Every time we've organized, they've either colonized. So the thing is, having the only thing I can go back and say one word is, at the end of the day, hip hop, in terms of the performative aspect, MCing, is still connected to a cognitive and educated skill. You have to have a certain level of education. So if we focused on that and it went into the academic space, then the strategy of implementing good or not, because we are at the time where the cognitive skills is the lowest. The average 18-year-old can't read towards a third grade reading level. This is why mumble rap is more prevalent, because they're projecting energy more than dictation, more than elaborating, and actually, and you came at a time where a song, right? A song is like an essay. Songs used to have 3 verses. What is an essay? Introduction, body, conclusion. The chorus is the thesis statement, right? I know I used to teach hip hop to certain students. That allows, right? That allows cross-reference, practice, due diligence. You now hear young people, are you doing too much? You gonna practice this? No. Why? So then going back into the monetization of it. So he said and that's that, and this is why this is important, because even though young people push culture, elders set standard. So that's why as informative I am, I'm just informative from the perspective of research, outside of having a tangible experience of being signed to a powerhouse and dealing with traumatic trauma, and then all that pain had me to learn the music industry. But being from the conception, you have a tangible understanding that I'll never have. So so now when you speak, I'm like, yo. I'm not. It's so. What he's saying is so effective. What he's saying is so effective. That's the advantage of that. And what you're saying was more passionate, and the pushback. The reason why is because you don't think that like they tried to do that. But colonization, this is not a cultural thing. Colonization is an executive power European thing. After the Haitian Revolution, they wanted to make sure no black systemic entity was ever sophisticated again. There's lies. There's lies. The most present fathers in the neighborhoods are black. The highest crime rates in the city in the United States are in Philadelphia and New York. Do you know that's the places where children are the least arrested? When I found this stuff out, I was like, what? But you could syndicate information. You can syndicate information right now. Yes, your son, he knows because he does the work. Your son is connected to another person from the Sex Money Murder. They did the Drop Your Flag challenge, right? It's reaching, it's reaching over 2,000 kids daily. These are things you could on your Instagram. There's an algorithm search, and you could put up a topic, and then you can see how much people is reaching, and then when you reach, there's a response thing. This is a real thing. So the thing is respectfully, I have a simplistic answer, right? This is a capitalistic society, right? And I'm not here to be critical on Jay-Z, because it's nothing wrong with being capitalistic, but at some point your capitalism needs to have a preservation, because that's what China does. That's the thing about communists. They want to make money, but not at the expense of that. So why say that? It should be Jay, Drake, Nas, you, all of the legends, and then they can execute that. Because what will happen then, because now executive power will come in and listen. But the problem with that is that it's not. It's
So the executive power is who?
the executive power would be in that situation. What?
It would be like the coalition.
Yeah,
So,
right.
but it wouldn't just be Coco Rock.
Right.
Mike C. You would have
Right.
KZ.
Do you understand that?
Right, but it's an upper level.
Do you understand that? Do you understand that? TikTok, right? TikTok is a multi-billion-dollar corporation that was completely silenced, right, by a country, right, through a political situation. You know how hard that is? Because capitalism, even though other places are communist and socialist, capitalism is still the leading free trade of the world. But here's the truth about capitalism.
Hate you and still do business with
right.
you.
But here's the truth about here's the truth about capitalism. The highest grossing person to ever make money was not a capitalist. He was a socialist by the name of Mansa Musa. Right? And one of the most this is crazy, but one of the most European billionaires in Warren Buffett, he studied him. And then he said later on in his life, he said, I realized philanthropy is the only thing that matters. So what happens is, in a capitalistic society, people who get to the status of this billionaire, but then there's multi-millionaire, because hip-hop has created lots of them, especially outside of the performative aspect of the business, because the business just is designed to keep the creator of the intellectual property not grossing. So
all right, we gotta wrap this up. So
yeah. So to in close, it's a capitalistic society. You need people who are willing to put the capital up and create the executive institution with the credibility of legends to go, okay, and if that happened, it'll happen right away. Because the same way Jay-Z got on a stage and responded to some information about him, and then all the demographics who criticized and said he wasn't relevant, that's their coverage. So the hypocrisy exposed there. It'll be just as relevant if it happened again, because we're still a capitalist society, right. and people will come in. So if that's what China did. We don't care how much money TikTok happened. We're abandoning it.
Okay. Exactly, and that was a long motherfucking way.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. Let me make the correlation to what you said. It's like we can have an executive board. We can set rules and laws and say that this is the way it's going to be, but we gotta stick to it.
Right.
You can't let somebody come in with some bread and say, yo, this and that. So we could do, this and this and that. And then you sell out. Now your whole shit is done. And if you don't stick to those original core motherfucking truths and beliefs and everything that from the foundation, and you let somebody, how about letting a female or and I'm not saying females in particular, I'm just saying anything else outside of what the fuck you was originally going to do just for the sake of inclusion, okay? That's how things get watered down. That's how shit get watered down.
My apology, I just wanted to say that in this day of media, it's so provocative that if I choose to speak on camera, context is important. Is because the problem with people say things to be provocative, and there's not a lot of context. And James Baldwin said there's a difference between being long-winded and speaking with context. And because I happen to speak with context, you have to cross-reference a lot of things that I'm saying from an intellectual perspective to a person. And I'm not being condescending, to a person that might not have the education or the patience to be objective, is that. But then a European Jordan Peterson gets a book deal. You know what I mean? So it's we really have to get back to stop with the anti-intellectualism. Stop making it unpopular to be intelligent, educated, objective. Literally objective. Let's disagree without disrespecting. You know what I mean?
No doubt. I agree.
The people who...
I was just trying to wrap the show up, bro.
I just want to just say one thing. One thing I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just saying black people are the only people that it was so...
Right.
Right, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you could
Colonialism.
You could be a dumb kid, and then it could be all right. But I'm gonna let it rock.
Yeah, colonialism.
All right, well, listen, we've come to an end of a great motherfucker show. Clap it up, man. Man, salute to our guest, man, the legendary Coke LaRock, my brother. Right? To my man Mikey D, all right? Mikey Destruction. Tuffy, all right, from Video Music Box and Hush Tours. And of course, my son Jonathan Kimball, all right? So, I think we had some well-rounded guests today, you know what I mean?
Right.
We covered a myriad of things, you know what I mean, on the show today. Salute the bigger, all right? The bigger picture, you know what I'm trying to say? Guys, once again, we can't say enough about the New York Knicks, man. 2026 world champions. 53 years in the making, you know what I mean? Like I said, me and Coke talked about it earlier. We watched Willis Reed limp out that motherfucking locker room, man. We saw Clyde take over the game, you know what I mean, hit 36, you know what I mean? And they beat the Lakers, I mean, with Wilt Chamberlain back in the day. Y'all don't understand, okay? So New York is on fire. The parade is this Thursday, okay? We going out, right? All right, we going out. We're going to be outside. All right, Mike, you coming out?
10 a.m.
That nigga ain't going nowhere. He ain't going no goddamn where.
He going to be sleeping.
All right, man, we out of here, man. Thank you, everybody. Our studio audience as well. All right, you already know, Cazual Talk, all right, with the Henny Boys. Like and subscribe, motherfuckers. We out.
All right. And cut.
New talk, winning New York. This is New York, nigga. New talk, winning New York. This is New York, nigga. New talk, winning New York. This is New York, nigga. New talk. I can watch a Knicks play basketball. This is New York, nigga. I can watch a Knicks play basketball. This is New York, nigga. Place your bet on us and bet it's us. In the wait was trust the Jet ain't us. J-Land in your face, so pass the J. No Antonio, you just cast away. We birthed hip hop, so we got the win. Still mad I sin in the garden. Want action, but ain't no B. But a Bill Jackson, let me call OG. Pass the cup, no more refill. No toll on bridges before me kill. I know you read just hoes, man. Before touch might need dough land. Your team stinks, I call them farts. Played your part, but you don't got Josh Hart. We got the juice, my city the proof. Clyde in my group, they know I'ma shoot. Wanna play with us, we play with toy. Give you a tip, you're just an errand boy. Winning New York. This is New York, nigga. New talk, winning New York. This is New York, nigga. New talk, winning New York. This is New York, nigga. New talk. I can watch a Knicks play basketball. This is New York, nigga. I can watch a Knicks play basketball. This is New York, nigga.